Yes, guys, welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. We're back for our final show of the season, and it's season review time. And Dean, I guess today's show is all about those in the chat. We're going to be taking suggestions of what we should be voting for, like what categories and what players, and we'll do plenty of polls, right?
Yeah, basically. And I want to know where all of you ended up, how happy you were with your seasons. And of course, there's only one man we're going to be starting with because we made a champion. Can I take the credit for that? Yeah, why not? He's done it. Ali's done it, mate. Unbelievable. I mean, the stress he must have gone through, because I was looking back at it and like what it took to actually get him over the line. And he owes Callum Wilson a lot. He owes that decision to come on a lot.
That's a huge swing, that Callum Wilson shout, wasn't it?
It really was. So if you haven't seen it, if Pinnock would have counted for his rival, that would have been it. But Callum Wilson coming on for 20 minutes.
Oh, that one point, yeah, blocked with the Pinnock point. I mean, who puts Pinnock in their starting? Obviously, he was on the first sub, but not many good managers have Pinnock in their squad. And there
but Pinnock was the first sub of the guy up against him, and he had 15 points, which would have taken him beyond Ali. But he had Wilson, and the Wilson 1-pointer and
it was Wilson Ali captain in game week 36 for all those points over Isak.
Yes,
like Wilson has got a special place in Ali's heart. Surely
he must get a shirt with Wilson's name on the back. Absolutely, but obviously there was more to it than that. Like this guy has been top for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it just takes real focus, doesn't it? I mean, you think about the effort you put in on a weekly basis. Add the stress of that, of trying to become the champion and knowing the opportunities that might come on the back of that. Well done, Ali. Absolutely brilliant, mate.
Yeah, mate. And I'm sure Ali's going to be in the chat later. Look, here are 4 cool stats about Ali's finish. He finished he was in the top 5 from game week 25 onwards. Top 5 from 25 onwards. He first reached world number 1 in game week 28. And for the last 6 weeks of the season, he was first. And he's had 4 game week ranks of under 50,000. Dean, apparently, if you finish every game week with a 1 million rank out of the 11 million, every 38 game week, if you finish with 1 million rank, you'll win FPL. Like, really? That's how, because we all have ranks at like 3, 4, 5 million, and it just completely throws it. So Ali had 4 under 50k, which is just unheard of. Knowing there's so many free hits each week, which you're up against, and wildcarders and stuff like that. And last season, the final stat, he finished 215th. Like, I asked him today, what's your goal for next year? And he was like, I'll be disappointed. I want top 500. Like, and it's like 500 rank is unheard of usually, you know.
I think I'd leave it. I wouldn't bother.
Drop the mic.
You can't be a back-to-back FPL champion. Like, that's literally impossible. So that's as good as it gets. But he's got to make the most of his moment in the sun, I would imagine.
Yeah. NC said bittersweet. He got 372k. Wow, he was 4.4 million just before the World Cup. That's a decent finishing at 370 is pretty impressive when you were 4.4 halfway through the season. Mark was 281, but he fell 70k in game week 38. Game week 38 was a weird one though, because we did have loads of team leaks. It did spoil it a bit. Like, I got lucky. I saw a leak and took my captaincy off Haaland. I was really surprised with the Pep lineup, but I bought in Gabby Jesus, Dean.
Did you?
And then captained him. So I was happy with that.
I wish I'd done that. I actually, when I saw the Haaland thing, I went for Alvarez, which I hadn't considered at all up to that moment. And I was really annoyed with myself for doing it. I was just like, oh yeah, whenever he plays, he always scores. Like, whenever
I did exactly the same with Foden. I did the same with Foden. I hadn't considered him, and I took a 4-point hit to bring Foden in when I saw Haaland weren't playing.
It was just so annoying, because I'd even said to you about Jesus, like on the other show, like, that's someone we should really be looking at here.
It was that chat on this stream that made me think, oh yeah, why don't I look at him? Because I always wanted to go Trossard, and then I realized I was like, because he was flagged, I just thought, look, Jesus I know is going to start. And Jota was the other guy we were bigging up, and Jota 2 goals.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And Wolves were every bit as bad as we thought against Arsenal, so that was kind of helpful. Just looking at everybody's ranks coming in here, Adam, 263k improvement from last season. Nice. Bill, third year playing, finishing 554k. First year under 1 million. Well done, mate. Like, that's great improvement. You brother me. That's 700 and something in the end. Rubbish. Heather finished 1.14 million, 83 points on my free hit this week. First season doing FPL. I'm like, oh, first season, Heather. Fair play. Must be weird coming into a game that people have been playing for literally a decade or something, and trying to like get on board with how it all works. So that's actually really good. I have to say, my last game week has gone. I got a better score than Ali, so that's a success in my eyes. I got 61 points, so it's largely down to Harry Kane being captain. But
good pick.
yeah, when he scored after a minute or whatever, I'm like,
yeah, you knew.
hat
I had
trick.
Leeds to win that game, and you were like, I don't know why you've got Leeds.
Yeah, I did say to you, are you sure about this? Where are you seeing this from? Like, I think you got a bit blindsided by some
definitely got
narratives there.
blindsided.
Yeah.
Yeah. I finished on, I think, 80-ish, 82 maybe. I can't remember, 80, low 80s. So I was really happy
nice.
because
Yeah.
I was outside the top 100k quite a bit. So to get in there late on was nice. Yeah.
Well done, mate. That's good.
Yeah, seeing some good ranks. Oh, wow. We had a Kivior owner. Sofan finished at 50k and he owned Kivior. We've got the clean sheet and the goal.
Wow, 68 points. That's nice. That's really nice. Fair play to you for that call. That was a big one. Yeah, would not have talked that up much ahead of the time. So well done. Daft Sam, first season, 57,425k. Not sure actually what that means, but thanks guys for the great content created throughout.
Pleasure.
No worries. Thank you for being here. With us throughout it all. It's been great fun, isn't it? It's I mean, and 50 people getting 57,000 in their first season is good going. So fair play to you, and thanks, everyone that's joined us throughout this season, giving us advice as well as us trying to give them advice.
Yeah, exactly that. And Dean, I tell you what, you've been giving us advice with team selection, and I tell you what, a few decisions this week you absolutely nailed. You said Bobby Firmino, didn't you? You've been saying for me, and again, I was like, no, come on as an impact sub. I mean, I was like, because I thought Jota would start, and they both started in the end because I thought it would be like Darwin or someone else on the left. But yeah, he played Bobby, Jota, and Salah, and obviously points all over the place there.
Yeah, it's again, and like, why have I gone Alvarez when I've talked up Firmino as well as Jesus? Like, it was just an impulsive decision, and I have learned nothing over a decade, over 38 game weeks, whatever. Very annoying. But CHD not buying the curry again this year. I'm not buying the curry, but I tell you what, people, got some bad news on this front. I'm not here for the curry.
Oh, that is shocking.
There's a poll. We did a poll in the WhatsApp group to decide like who's around for the day.
I love you polls now on WhatsApp.
Yeah, and the majority of people picked this date in July.
You have to stomach it.
I'm in America. So I said, I'll tell you what, I'm still ordering because those guys in the bottom four owe me a curry. And I'm going to order a curry and you're buying it and you can share it between you.
That's a great
getting away with it.
Tiffany says, I'll be the only female in FPL Black Wolves. Black Wolf's a big content creator on Twitter. He does like this FPL USA Elite mini league season. So Tiffany's been promoted to that tier.
Oh, Tiffany, unbelievable.
Absolutely no pressure there next season, Tiffany. Well played.
Oh, brilliant. That's really good to hear. Nice one. You are the new Ali. Well done. Go and smash it. Go and win it. Don't settle for anything else. Go and
gets footsie. Had Pinnock on his bench. Oh no.
I mean, the thing is, you make decisions like that. Like,
it was the right call.
It was the right call. Like,
it was the right call.
Start Pinnock, are you? Like, that's. You're just hoping at that point that someone doesn't play or doesn't get on like Callum Wilson. Leo says have a curry via Zoom, Dean. Yeah, we did do that actually during the lockdown season. We did end up. We all got a curry delivered at the same time.
Did they actually all arrive at the same time?
Not quite, no, but it was still quite funny. Everyone getting them at different times. It was quite a good laugh.
That's great. I've heard about lockdown quizzes and stuff like that, but lockdown curries, that is a great shout. I love that. We should discuss what's going to come up in today's show because we want the chat to dictate the conversation. So shall we make a mini list? I've got my keyboard at the ready of the things we should discuss. So if we're doing like a season review, I think we'll blurt out a couple of ideas and then chat, please let us know your ideas and we'll take the best ones. And then for every topic, we'll do polls throughout. So Dean, what we have to discuss, I've got a topic for this season, how Haaland has changed the way we play FPL. We'll get to that soon.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Look, the polls that we're going to go through today are the manager of the season, but also the player of the season. But also from you guys, like I'm interested in like who was the most overrated FPL asset, who was an underrated FPL, anything that you guys have got like that, or I don't know, like you've spotted something that you think might be for the future. We want that sort of stuff coming in, I think, in the next half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I love that. The taking hits one, yeah, that's quite general, Jake. We could do a whole show on is it okay to take hits, but we'll try and give a nod to it. Havertz. No, we're not going to talk about Havertz. Thanks for that suggestion, Leo. Known transfers, yeah, we could do. We'll do a little bit of transfers towards the end of the show, and that will tee up our summer shows.
Yeah. We won't go too into detail because there is more to follow on that, people.
Okay, well, let us know throughout if you've got any ideas of stuff. I like the underrated and overrated.
Yeah.
Shall we do?
But let's
best bandwagon, like someone. Oh no,
bandwagon we've all.
Yeah, who have we been blindsided by? Let's call it the blindsided pick. Who we all bought in and then just didn't produce. We'll get a 3-name poll for that.
Yeah, mine was Ollie Watkins. I think I grabbed him at completely the wrong time. Then took him. Obviously, that goal he scored on the final day. By the way, do you see it?
I haven't seen the highlights for that game. I only watched the first half match today. I fell asleep.
He's gifted a 2-yard tap in, and I'm just like, honestly, this guy.
Mate, it was Aston Villa that nearly killed Ali as well, because there was a guy, I think, in third who had Douglas Luiz, Ollie Watkins, and Tyrone Mings. And Watkins obviously scored. Luiz had scored. Mings was on for a clean sheet. And yeah, he desperately needed a Brighton goal. And Brighton had like a couple of goals disallowed. So Ali was like really sweating on that one fixture.
Wow. I was just thinking, actually, who was it? Like, think back to the very start of the season when we were predicting like game week 1. Who were the players? You'll probably remember. Was it?
Neto. I went on Ranks FC, and I think you weren't there. And
I wasn't there that week.
FPL, and I remember the guys asking me about like the one like low owned or sort of low price differential to go for, and I said Neto, and the boys are both like, yeah, Neto's amazing, and you know, and obviously he is, but he was just a rubbish FPL pick, and then got injured.
Yeah, Bailey as well. People are saying, yeah. Bailey. Do you remember the hype around Bailey before this season began?
I had Bailey.
People putting their lives on this geezer. Like he's going to be sold.
You called me out like game week 1 or 2 on Bailey, I think, because I remember you saying like, why has everyone got Bailey? And I had him, and you were like, he's just not proven. Not in this league.
Like one of the most inconsistent performers you'll ever see. Rich says Neto achieved no goals and 2 assists all season. Honestly, like that's it. Aston Villa, Bozzy, Ward, and Everson. God, you remember it? All we need, everyone, is the 2 Leicester goalkeepers, and we're sorted for the whole season. Suddenly, they're bottom of the league or whatever, and everyone's jumping off them. Oh, look, here he is, FPL Guns. Bailey, I owned him in game week 1. Well, you certainly bounced back from that, mate, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I wish we could laugh at Ali's game week 1 team, because, I mean, he didn't have the best start to the season. So in game week 1, he had, hang on, I've got it here. I've got his game week 1 team up. He had, Leon Bailey in his 11. He had Neto, and he had and he had Andreas. So we had 3 cheap midfielders. And he started the season with Jesus and Darwin. Like Darwin, he got 9 points of in game week 1, I think it was. He had Martinelli, Cancelo, James, Luca Dean, and Trent. So he had all big fullbacks.
Well, that was the thing everyone was saying, wasn't it? That's what
big at the back.
Big at the back was the
that
has
died, doesn't it? Big at the back is dead.
Honestly, I think we all need to remember these lessons when we get to pre-season, when we start downloading this app again and getting the new version on. Whatever people think they've spotted is absolute nonsense. Base it on what you've seen in the past, or what you're seeing right there in pre-season on form. Yeah, don't get swayed, people. Ali's saying I played 4-3-3. Yeah, well, there was nothing wrong with it at the time. You've learned over the course of 38 weeks in a World Cup that wasn't the way to go.
Ali, do after this show go back and watch the first 10 minutes, because we've just done literally talking about you like our our sort of project for the season that
Yeah,
we're
like
so
you're our
proud of.
son that's just got his exam results.
Okay, let's go to the first question. We've done a poll. Haaland, we won't spend too long on this one, but Haaland has changed the way we play FPL, and I think the chat agrees 70% at the moment. And the reason I wanted to pose that question was the set and forget captain, which I don't think, we had at times with Aguero and Salah, but Haaland's ownership and the percentage owned, and therefore his effective ownership when captained, has been so scary. It's been higher than we've ever seen. So it's definitely changed the way we play. Next season, he'll be, say, 14 million.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to change his ownership. I still think everyone buys him.
Do you? 14 million, yeah. That's... Well, you're going to certainly start with him because you'd be terrified not to have him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, what if he's got Luton on the first day?
Oh my God, the fixtures come out in like 2 weeks, Dean. That's so early. Yeah, the fixtures. Serious? So not the game, not the FPL game, but the fixtures, I think, are out on something like the 15th of June.
Oh my
or the 12th
goodness.
of June. Yeah, really soon. Really soon. I don't know why they're out so soon.
I'm quite excited about that, but yeah. It's,
Luton will be very excited seeing their away days and home games.
Oh my God, yeah, that's great. I'm actually really happy about that. I don't like waiting for fixtures. I like to know. Got to renew my Fulham season ticket actually. Got to do that.
Well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, need to do that. Yeah, brilliant. What was people saying in here? Rich says, whatever price Haaland is, you can't cover his points elsewhere. Yeah, exactly it. I mean, you're going to have to have him at the start of next season. There's going to be absolutely no way around that. Yeah. Dean McKenny, just back from Shane Duffy's wedding weekend. Sore head today, won't lie.
What? Dean?
What?
To us.
Tell us more.
Shane Duffy's wedding weekend. I'm just going to Google it to see if Shane Duffy did get married this weekend.
Front page news, I imagine it was. Wow, Dean. Yeah, I'm intrigued as to.
Tell us more.
Did you manage to do your FPL team? Did you care about football? And yeah, I can imagine that a Shane Duffy wedding would be pretty messy.
It just comes up with the Boyzone singer Shane Duffy, but I want the footballer Shane Duffy.
Yeah, that's definitely not the same guy. Right, we'll wait for him to get back to us.
Oh no, he was married in 2018 because Katie Price went to the wedding.
What?
2018, Katie Price's car was spotted at Brighton Aces. Shane Duffy. Yeah, Shane Duffy's marriage. Oh, I guess she is from Brighton, isn't she?
That is true. That is true. By the way, Indian football coach says FPL launch date for next season is first week of July, apparently.
Yeah, last season, I think it was the 6th or 7th of July. So it'll be similar. It could be the second week, could be the first. I don't think that's confirmed. But yeah.
So you've only got a month or so.
So yeah.
That's good.
That'll be... Oh, Katie Price was romantically linked with Shane Duffy.
Dean, why aren't you giving us more information here?
After reportedly giving her husband the red card.
Hey, can't beat a pun in, what was that, in the sun or the mirror?
Sun.
It was only one or two. Yeah. Vasilas, my second full season on FPL ended up not too bad. 51k. Not too bad, mate. It's absolutely superb. I have to admit, it's getting more competitive over time. As this year, we had 11.4 managers competing. Just incredible. Yeah. I mean, it is ridiculous. Obviously, some people lose interest, but it's still a crazy number of people actually involved in this game.
Let's move on to our second big poll, shall we? Because we'll get some more options in the poll. Is it a maximum of 3 you can do on YouTube, the poll, isn't it?
I think it is.
So shall we do our manager of the season, Dean?
Yeah.
Who would be the 3? Because that's a hard 3 to select. Can I throw one at you? And you tell me if you think he should be in the 3. And he's not really been in any of the 3s. He wasn't even in the 6. Gary O'Neill.
I mean, Gary O'Neill is... It really depends on how you judge a manager of the year, because you've got to judge people on, did they meet expectations? Did they exceed expectations? And also, like, what was the outside pressures and influences on their job? Like, there's so many factors that come into judging something. You can say, like, David Moyes, for example, has spent the entire season being told he's not going to be West Ham manager beyond the next 2 weeks, and he's still in the job, and he's in a European Cup final. Like, that takes some doing too. I'm not saying David Moyes is the manager of the year, but again, Gary O'Neill, to keep Bournemouth in the league is similar, because from game week 1, it was like, well, Bournemouth won't stay up. You've got no chance. Scott Parker, as the manager, admitted it, said, no, this team's got no chance. Lost 9-0 at Liverpool. I'm off. Well, they told him he was off. And then Gary O'Neill comes in and slowly turns a corner. So, yeah, I do agree. I mean, the official, like, top 5 on this that I've gauged.
They did like a 5 or a 6 and he wasn't in it.
No, it's Pep, Arteta, De Zerbi, Emery, Eddie Howe.
Emery's only been around when did Emery join?
Well, he hasn't been there long, but to be fair, Steven Gerrard had them like heading towards the relegation battle.
Yeah,
and he's just qualified for Europe, so he's completely turned around their season. That's what he's done. Again, how do you compare what Emery's done to Arteta unexpectedly challenging for a title?
He has to be in the 3, doesn't he? I think we have to go Arteta in the 3.
I mean, I'll be honest. I think that Pep is still the manager of the year because he's managed to do it.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have Pep in my 3.
See, I mean, I think like from where Man City were, 10 points adrift, people writing them off, and the way they were playing wasn't that good, telling them they couldn't play with Haaland, and Guardiola like pulling them aside and being like, right, gave them this big talk, didn't lose another game at home, on for a treble. He's going to win a treble. How can he not be manager of the year if he wins a treble? Like, it's
all right. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Pep, Arteta, De Zerbi. I think we have to go De Zerbi.
Yeah,
and then is it Gary O'Neill or Howe?
Yeah,
or Emery.
Throw O'Neill in.
Come on, let's put O'Neill in. Sam Allardyce says Mark.
Yeah, it went well. That went well.
Marco Silva was one of the 6 nominees, apparently.
Yeah, he was. I mean, look, the problem with someone like Marco Silva is that Fulham were 10th after the first game of the season. They got as high as 6th, would keep dropping down to a 10th, 11th, and finish the season 10th. So it looks pretty like expected in the end that Fulham finished 10th. But we were talked about as the yo-yo club, where everyone expected us to be back down there.
Yeah.
Been absolutely nowhere near it. Like finished well clear of relegation, not even the threat of it this season. So yeah, Taufik says no, Dean. I think City didn't do well this season. I think Arsenal just performed poorly. Mate, you can't say that Man City didn't do well this season. They have absolutely walked to the title. Like, how can they not have done well? They've walked their way to the Premier League title. They've got 89 points. Man United have got 75. Newcastle have got 71.
Yeah, but the resources, Dean. Look at the resources.
Yeah, but like they've still got to perform.
Yeah, but
they scored 94 goals.
Mate, would Big Sam win the league with Man City? I think he would.
No, he wouldn't.
I think he would.
But he's saying but Taufik anyway. He's saying I think City didn't do well this season. They scored nearly 100 goals.
And they're going to win the treble as well.
They're going to win the treble. You watch this team play, it's like nothing you're ever going to see again in your life. They've just set new expectations for us. That's the problem here. We've got too used to seeing this style of football. It's absolutely ridiculous. And there's not many times in your life watching football that you're going to see this again. Like, genuinely, you won't. Like, when Man United dominated the Premier League, they were great. It didn't look like this. It didn't look like this.
It didn't. And as you're speaking about it, I can see Pep's percentage go 29, 30, 31. So look, let's give De Zerbi a bit of airtime because he's currently winning the poll. And if we're talking about changing styles and coming in and sort of putting your stamp on it, I can't remember an appointment where a manager's come in and not only change the identity, because, they do that all the time, but change the identity with such success to what looks like a very big club. Like, they play football like a title-winning team, and they're little old Brighton who are selling their best players. So De Zerbi has to be in the running. I think he gets my vote.
Does he? Yeah. I mean, the thing that's interesting about De Zerbi is, like, think of how high Graham Potter's reputation was when he took the Chelsea job. And everyone was like, this is amazing what he's done with Brighton. Like, unbelievable stuff. And then De Zerbi comes in and transforms Brighton into a much better team. Like, they didn't fall off at all.
Scored goals because Potter's team didn't score, did they?
Potter goes over to Chelsea and absolutely kills them. And Potter's team, funny enough, Chelsea don't score goals. And De Zerbi brings in people that hadn't even been playing, Like
Yeah.
changes the philosophy, changes the nature of their play and the style of it all. I mean, again, like I say, we won't see it again. What we're seeing from Man City, Brighton fans know that this is once in a lifetime stuff. Like to come into a club like this and exert your authority on it so impressively is just unbelievable. If you were Tottenham right now, you'd be like, how could we get this guy? This is the guy I think you should be going after. I don't think he'll go. I don't think he'll go right now. I think it would take too much, and I don't think he would like that particular setup of club. I think that's probably quite key to it. But yeah, I mean, he's even being talked about, isn't he, as the next Pep at Man City? Like if things continue, if Pep leaves in 2 years and De Zerbi's still doing this, then probably will be Man City manager.
I think we'll move on from manager then. We'll finish on that with De Zerbi. 45% of the vote. Pep on 36. 44 now, De Zerbi. And yeah, Mikel Arteta and Gary O'Neill mopping up the pieces. So yeah, good work, guys, in the chat. Enjoying this. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Shall we move on to how are we going to do should we do player of the season FPL? Player of the season?
Yeah, I think we should
without Haaland. Let's take Haaland out the conversation.
I think we have to because he's going to win it. So we can do a poll without him in it. That's absolutely fine. Let me just
Trippier has to be one of the nominees.
Absolutely. I stuck him in the list last night. I've actually just lost the list. I can't
one.
find where I've stuck it that I sent over to the producer yesterday.
I missed that. Sorry, mate. I didn't realise you'd done a list.
Well, we were just chatting. It wasn't like a confirmed list, but I'd suggested Trippier, Rashford, Odegaard, Kane as alternatives to Haaland. But let us know in the chat if you think I've there's an oversight there. But I think that Kane, Odegaard, Rashford, Trips are probably the four.
Kane, Odegaard, Rashford, Trips. Yeah, I like that.
I think.
Yeah.
If you
I'd agree with that. Not Salah?
I mean, maybe from an FPL point of view, like Salah, I was not unsure in my head. Salah has not been one of the players of the season anywhere close to it.
Let's not go Salah then, because he's so expensive as well. And the value you get from an Odegaard or a Rashford, half the price.
Okay, that's fine. Kind of where I was at. Okay, so let's go with those then. I'm happy with that. I know a few people
seems to agree.
A few are saying Martinelli and Saka. Like we can't have Odegaard, Martinelli, and Saka. So
Odegaard outscored him.
Exactly, and that's what I thought with that. I thought Odegaard has come clear of them, and for a lot of the season, to be honest, we were talking about him as, is this the best player in the Premier League? So if he was
weren't we? Was it just before the World Cup? We were saying he's the league's best player, and we forget that very quickly.
I was like, why have I not got this guy in my team? He is the best player in the league. Why have I still got De Bruyne or whoever it was? Right, get voting, people. FPL player of the season. Who do you have it down as? Harry Kane shot into the lead there.
I'm surprised at that. I thought if I had two votes, it'd be Trippier and Rashford because the value is insane. Like Rashford started the season at, I think, 6.5 million. He was a lock for all our teams, and in and around the World Cup, the goals he was getting were just crazy. And then Trippier, bonus points machine. The first half of the season, it was just clean sheet after clean sheet. Trippier got 198 points. The second best performing defender was Ben White and Trent on 156. So he almost got 50 points on the second best. Trippier got more points than, well, pretty much the same points as Saka and Martinelli. He's a defender.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the problem with Trips, he didn't end brilliantly, did he? There was that spell where Newcastle stopped keeping clean sheets. He got an own goal. There was a few things like that have gone against him recently, which maybe dirties the water a little bit as we look back on him. But I voted Trippier in this, and I had Kane and Trippier almost all season, both of them. And I felt that Trips was always, for me, the most consistent performer, really. The only thing is, obviously, everyone ended up with Trippier, whereas with Kane, I always had a bit of an edge because people would go in and out of him. People didn't trust him. He's banged in 30 goals across the season. Like, just an unbelievable player, like on an individual basis. Barry says Rashford had a brilliant middle third of the season. Dwight McNeil outscored him in the last third.
Interesting.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from there, but Rashford was phenomenal. There was a spell where he was untouchable, wasn't he? He was... you literally couldn't lay a glove on him.
Oh, you can tell who's just joined in. FPL Harry, how's Haaland not in the poll? No, Harry, we literally said it's just boring if we include Haaland. We can't. This has to
Yeah.
be a poll without Haaland. I don't think there'd be any debate, would there?
I don't think so.
And we
No.
did did Haaland change the game poll earlier? So yeah, player of the season, fair. Should we move on to our so yeah, Kane takes that. Trippier second. Trippier still gets my vote. Should we say our overrated pick? Like who's been highly owned and actually rubbish? This let us know in the chat who you want to make the poll. I've got a name to throw straight out there. And it's Danny Ward, the Leicester keeper, because he was so highly owned. Like it was in everyone's team if it was their backup or their first choice. And he did have a little spell of a couple of clean sheets, but for the start of the season, for those like me that went Ward and Everson, so disappointing because Leicester just were useless at the back.
Yeah, there's loads of people flying in here. Son, Edison, Mitrovic, Son, Edison, Nunez, KDB, Son again, Hakpo, Havertz, Hakpo, Son. I mean, Son's getting quite a lot of votes. He's going to have to be in there. Edison's getting loads.
Yeah, Edison was really popular in the FPL community. He became like the go-to keeper at the end of the season, if you like, and he just kept conceding as he did against Brentford late. And then as soon as he had the double game week and City kept clean sheets, it was Edison on the bench, and he wasn't actually in Pep's 11. So I think we can probably include Edison and Ward. The thing is about guys like Nunez and even Son and Havertz, they're so lowly owned, they don't really count for me. Like for the overrated pick, they have to have always been sort of 10% ownership plus. Like Havertz, I think Havertz was a fine differential when he was 1% owned and he scored a couple of weeks. When I went with Havertz instead of Watkins, it was a dreadful call.
Yeah.
Isak could be one.
Yeah, Isak could be one for sure.
Gabriel says Isak.
Yes, how have we got now?
So we're going to go the two keepers, Edison and Ward.
Yeah. And then we need two outfields, which Son is still getting voted. Son was golden boot last season. In fact, his low own shows how bad he was. Yeah, but it's not the same as
Reece James. We all had Reece James at one point in our team, didn't we?
I mean, Reece James did nothing, did he? And we all stuck with him for quite a while.
Yeah,
I think Reece James might have to go in there. I think it's a good shout.
So, and then for the other outfield player, there's suggestions are in terms of highly owned: Chilwell, Maddison, Grealish, Perisic was even ended the season on 15% owned. Yeah, but Isak was so popular, wasn't he? Isak at the end of the year, everyone had him.
Yeah, I'd throw Isak in there because that is true. Loads of people got that wrong, and you had to go Isak Wilson, and too many went Isak.
Shout out Ali, world number one, Callum Wilson, won in the title.
Ali, if you're still here, let us know if you are getting a Newcastle shirt with Wilson's name on, if you're getting a tattoo, what your plans are on that front. I'd be very interested to know.
Maybe the game he'll go to because his prize is 2 tickets. Like maybe it will be a Newcastle. I'm sure it's going to be Arsenal because he's a big Arsenal fan. But maybe it'll be
Arsenal Newcastle will be a good one, wouldn't it? Yeah, and he gets to meet Callum Wilson.
I wonder if Callum Wilson plays FPL. I'm sure there's a way someone can get to him. He does that podcast with Antonio for the BBC, doesn't he?
He does, yeah, he does. Ali needs to get on there. Yeah, so let's get this going in a second. This is I'm quite enjoying this poll live.
Yeah, we'll get it on ASAP in the chat. So our four, yeah, there we go. Producers just stuck it on screen. And yeah, shout out to a few of the others. Like Perisic is a fine shout, but I don't know if he was highly owned enough at times. Who are you voting for in this one, Dean?
I've actually gone Isak. I think I'm the only one. 5%.
I'm going to go Danny Ward.
Yeah, I mean, Ward is a good one. I like this vote. This is fun. Yeah, Isak, you swayed me with what you just said there, and I'd forgotten about everyone right at the end of the season going on him. And it's like, no, you're on the wrong guy.
It's like, I've signed a midfielder.
Yeah, you're on the wrong horse.
I thought he was playing number 9.
But yeah, Reece and Edison going head-to-head for this unwanted title of overrated pick. So get your votes in, people. 60 odd so far. Let's get you. There's almost 200 of you now in the chat. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Yeah, get voting on the poll, which is in the live chat right now.
Dean, I'm guessing there'll be so many watching this on catch up because we're so used to doing live streams and we kind of go, yeah, there'll be some catch up views. But for this, because this is the season review and this will be our last FPL video on the channel for a month or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it gets quite good views moving forward. And with that, there's going to be so many shouting at the screen, going, put whoever in the poll. And it's like, oh, sorry, guys, we can't. But do let us know in the comments if you think we've got any wrong. And likewise, do let us know in the comments who you voted for and why. And we'll be going through those comments and still adding to the conversation over the summer. But yeah, this one looks like it's going to be Ederson and Reece is split.
It really is.
I'm between the two. I mean, Ederson for me was the most overrated if I was to pick one of them, because Reece James, I think both Ederson and Reece James owners were very, very unfortunate. But Ederson, I don't know. There's a thing about high-priced goalkeepers or premium goalkeepers which just don't work for me. When you look through the best goalkeeper of the season, Raya. Other goalkeepers that performed really well this season, Pope was mid-price, Raya was cheap. Kepa for a while was amazing for us, cheap again. I like keepers that clock save points. When they get save points, they get bonus. And even when Ederson does keep a clean sheet, it's usually a 6-pointer. I know yesterday he was on for bonus if he kept it clean, but that's quite rare for him. And you don't get the save points either.
Yeah, that is true. Quite a few people said they're not voting for Reece because of the injuries, and I guess that is, ultimately what has held him back this season. But there were still times we were going there, not that even without knowing if he was fit. That's why we had such faith in Reece James. I tell you what, a Pochettino version of Reece James is going to be a lot of fun.
Cannot wait for that.
There is every chance we will all be picking Reece James on the first day of getting the next version of this game. I can be pretty sure of that.
And it'll be cheaper as well. It'll probably be 5.5.
He's going to drop, I imagine. Exactly. Zugi says Foden was disappointing. Was he? Foden's numbers were pretty good in the end, weren't they?
He got more points than all the other Man City mids, I think. I think he, other than KDB, I think he was the second highest Man City midfielder point scorer, which is quite rare because he didn't get many minutes. But yeah, I think he got more points than all the others. I'm pretty sure he did. I'm just checking now. Yeah, so Foden got 142. Gundo 132, Mahrez 126, Grealish 121, Bernardo 106. Foden's numbers were really good. It's just he didn't get the minutes. That was the issue.
Yeah, absolutely. There, I'm going to say, for his actual return, I think was pretty good.
11 goals, 7 assists.
Honestly, it's decent. I was looking at Mahrez's numbers across the season too, and considering how little he was seen, Mahrez had a really good season. Yeah. CH says players you avoided but shouldn't have. Tony comes to mind. Yeah, I do like that one. That is very good. Graham says thanks for all the content and congrats to Ali. Graham, winner of CGA Cup. Oh, did you win? Did you win?
Shout out Graham. I forgot about the cup.
Yeah, me too.
I never even look and see how I get on in cups. I don't look at the cup. How do you even? I guess it's just further down, isn't it?
Oh, the cups. Yeah, there's a different tab. Yeah, there. Yeah, I can't. I lost to David Allenskers in game week 31. I lost 51 points to 70, so I was gone. I only got 3 games, so I didn't do too good. Well done, Graham. Fair play, mate. That's good.
So, most overrated pick, Ederson takes the award on 38%. Just got a little bump at the end there. So, let's move on to our next poll and award. Who are we going to go to? So, we're going to go, we've done underrated. So, we've done overrated. I guess we should do underrated pick. So, that's we're looking for low owned percentage players that have done really well or low owned value players that have done really well. I think Eze for the end of season run is a good shout. No one owned Eze, and a few took a punt on the final day. But for a while under Roy Hodgson, he was producing every week.
Yep, absolutely. I think that's absolutely fair. Let me just have a quick look on this list to see who the total scorers were and what their prices were. So flicking through,
Raya in goal, top goalkeeper
for sure.
4.5 start of the season.
Yeah, and to be honest, Watkins wasn't a bad shout. Considering the number of points he ended up with, I know he was 7.3, and it's not cheap, but Watkins has ended up just outside the top 10, I think, in terms of all the scorers. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Watkins, 12th top point scorer in FPL. It's not a bad option.
So we've got Raya, Watkins. Who did I say first? Can't remember what I said. Eze, I do like that shout.
Yeah, I mean Eze's right up there too. Raya, yeah, I mean if you look at like the top point scorers from this season across all positions are all the guys we talked about at the top as the players of the season. So Haaland, Kane, Salah, Odegaard, Rashford, Saka, Martinelli, Trippier, and then De Bruyne has just kind of crept in there. And then below that is really where I think the conversation starts for this. So you got Ivan Toney, Bruno Fernandes, probably too highly priced to be considered. But then Watkins, Raya, Alisson, Eze, Pascal Gross, 5.4
Mate, Gross is
million.
a great shout because Gross got more points than McAllister, than Matoma, all the guys we were beelining for. And there's right back Pascal Gross actually smashing them for points.
Gross is the highest scoring Brighton player. And just below him, a guy we've forgotten about now because he didn't end well, but Almiron at one point. Like, what a pick Almiron was.
That's a
for
fair
that
point.
spell.
Okay, he has to make the list because he was like 40% owned before the World Cup. There's a few in the chat saying, in fact, great suggestions. A lot said Tyrone Mings.
Yeah, Mings is a good one. He's been really consistent. He's been born again.
So who we go? We have to go Mings and we have to go Gross.
Mings and Gross have to be in there. I think Raya has been such a good shout for a goalkeeper pick.
And Almiron.
4.8. And Almiron.
Let's go those four. We'll sack off Eze.
Yeah, fine.
We'll sack off Watkins then. Okay. Martinelli was a joke. You're right. Early season Martinelli as well. What was the question again, says Seb? So just for a recap, the question is, I need to familiarise myself with this, the most underrated player of the season. Who was the most underrated player? And that could be based on their percentage ownership. They're underrated because they're only 1% owned and they were doing really well, or because they were cheap. Yeah. I don't know if Martinelli fits that bracket because everyone rated Martinelli and it was in everyone's teams.
Yeah, as soon as Arsenal started winning, we all jumped on board with him. He's only 6.5, which means he was very good value. But I think we all knew that he was underrated. He just held, it was just a great asset to have in this game. So we just all ended up going to him.
Yeah. K-Man says that everyone had Saka instead. No, game week 1, Martinelli's ownership was like 30%. Everyone owned Martinelli.
Yeah, I think I went Saka just because I was waiting for pens, and then we had to wait about 12 weeks for him to actually find out if he was actually taking pens.
Okay, so I think we've got our poll. I think it will be up on screen in a sec. I think we've got our names. There's a few angry Andreas suggesters out there. Andreas isn't going to make our list, but that's fine. Almiron, Raya, Mings, and Pascal Gross. Who are you voting for, Edine?
Pascal Gross is a really good one that I literally have not picked him all season. It's Pascal Gross. That is the most underrated pick. Like, I didn't really even know the extent of it until right now. Like, seeing that he is the best Brighton asset of the season.
That is crazy. And we've all owned at least 2 Brighton mids.
And I've had 3 Brighton players for about 12 weeks now, and none of them were him. Like, that for me jumps out a mile, and it looks like everybody else too. He's raced into the lead here, just ahead of Raya.
I don't think I want to be different. I can't. I can't go against Pascal Gross. When you said his name, I was like, yeah, because what's his own? What did he finish the season with ownership? Like, okay, 11%.
Yeah.
Solly March finished with 4, but that's because he was red flagged. McAllister finished with 15. Matoma finished with 27. So yeah, lowly owned, and 159 points. That is massive.
159 points. It's so big. Yeah, he's like, it's just ridiculous. I'm just gonna quickly look through. Solly March isn't too far behind. Solly March got 147 points, so he beat Solly March's score by 12 points. And Solly March was like flavor of the month. Like, everybody just like raving about Solly March. He was everywhere for 2 months.
Mate, Pascal Gross was the 8th best midfielder in the game. He scored more points than Son. He scored more points than like Eze and even Almiron and Trossard. Like, all the Man City midfielders, Pascal Gross outperformed other than De Bruyne. He was only like 10 points off Bruno Fernandes, who had a really good season.
Now, is this a tactic that we need to employ next season, or is it dead?
He played right back half the season as well.
Yeah, can we take anything from this into the next year?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Why is he so unfashionable? Is it because he's German? Is it the way he looks? Is it because he's not exciting on the pitch? He's got.
I think he just gets no publicity. I think he just gets no publicity.
Plays 90 every week. his underlying stats don't like the numbers don't jump out to go they're great, but 9 goals, 8 assists, 9 goals. Where did
That
he get
honestly
them?
has passed me by. That really has passed me by. I need
Me
to speak
too.
to some Brighton fans about this. Get
Yep.
Jules on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Brighton special with Jules. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
She's gonna be gutted about McAllister and Caicedo. De Zerbi's pretty much confirmed it, isn't he?
Basically, yeah. But the good thing is about Brighton, the old conveyor belt will keep turning and they'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't know if they've got Billy Gilmore on loan or if they bought him.
I think they've got him. Yeah, I think they've got him perm. But yeah, you never can tell whether he's actually got a future there. That seems to be the problem. I'm not sure even he is sure how things are going. Or maybe he's. I saw that there was that picture, wasn't there, of him and Levi Colwell?
Yeah, they're both critics for
They were like
celebrating.
both dug
Maybe they
out
are
for
on
it.
loan then. Well,
maybe.
Cole's obviously on loan, but yeah, I'm not sure about Gilmore.
Hmm.
So Pascal Gross wins with 38%. Raya second on 30, which is fair enough. When we talk about goalkeepers, yes, he got loads of save points and he was the best performing goalkeeper. But shout out also, when you look at the bonus points, Raya achieved more than any other, which is because of the saves, but also as a goalkeeper, you want to get to that magical 30 pass limit for another little bump in the BPS. And Brentford are a team that will give him the ball and he'll play with his feet a bit. So you see a lot of knocking around between Raya and the defenders, which is what you need. If you're playing for, say, a Sean Dyche team and it's just go long straight away, you've got a lower chance of achieving that BPS in passing.
Absolutely. G, what's your favourite moment of the season on the Chasing Green Arrows stream?
Oh, wow. It's got to be something that
this.
involves a guest, I'd have thought. No, it's great when we have guests on, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like this. It's always a different feel when you have the guests on, and it's also like they're all so different in terms of personality, aren't they? You'll get some guests who are just like know their stuff, like bang on it. They'll just stream off facts and just like, okay, I'll sit here. I'm being taught a lesson, and then you get some guests, I guess like Olivia or somebody like that. It's just like a chat, right? Like you're at a pub having a chat, and like it's really interesting.
She's been awesome actually. Maybe she gets guest of the year.
I like Olivia a lot.
I think we've had her on a couple of times, haven't we?
Yeah, she's been good. But I like Ian too. Like Ian Irving has been a
Yeah,
great mix of insightful
Ian
and yeah, he's been insightful, but he's also been like one of the lads, if you like. So that's been fun.
I've got it. My moment, and Mustafa's just put it on screen. It's 100% James coming. I forgot James was a guest.
I just even feel like this season.
It was earlier this season, wasn't it? That's definitely my highlight. Having James on our stream.
Yeah, I forgot that was even this season, to be fair. My moment was commentating on Luton Town getting promoted to the Premier.
Mate, I sent my uncle the whole thing. The whole 5 minutes of you doing the comms.
That's the first and last time I'll commentate, I imagine.
Yeah, no, it's been an awesome season. I guess it's not to go too soppy on you guys in the chat, but a highlight of the season has been building the Chaser community as well. Like it's been pretty cool. And
yeah, I think
the same faces.
Yeah, definitely. We were talking about it off air, weren't we? I think it was yesterday. Just like the same names just cropping up week after week after week, and like everyone sticking around for the whole show twice a week is just like unbelievable to build this. Like, we came out of nowhere really, like 15, 16 months ago, whatever it was. And yeah, we've built something pretty cool. I know we're going to grow. I know it's going to get bigger and bigger, but we'll remember who the first chasers were. And it's basically everyone that's here right now. So thanks everyone that's been here throughout this season. It's been great, and you guys have absolutely been part of it.
I like the fact that the chasers kind of dictate the show. Like we weren't going to do a stream tonight, and it was the chasers going on going, oh, you got to do a review show. So we were like, oh, okay, yeah, we could. And then like often you guys know, I'd like to think, and I like to refer to us until I've been told I'm wrong with this before. Maybe I am, and maybe I don't watch enough of the other shows to put a definite on it. But I'd like to think we are the most
interactive.
Yeah, the most interactive with the chat of all the like FPL content I see. Like you guys, literally, we're flashing up your questions all the time. We don't do super chats. It's about you, like, and you dictate the agenda. Even today's show, like the suggestions coming in. So yeah, that's a really big part of the show for me.
Tafik wants a poll on the chasers of the season.
Yes,
we can't do that. Can we do that?
Can we? I think we can.
You have to put forward your case right now. If you want to be considered to be the chaser of the season, you've got like 1 minute here.
CH is definitely on the shortlist.
Tafik. CH is 100% on the shortlist. So CH is the first name in there. Get in there. Go. Jake's already voted for Ali. He's not even voted for himself.
We can't put Ali on because he'll just get a clean sweep.
Ali's not getting it. Ali's already got a much better prize. Yeah.
FPL River. He's got to be on the shortlist.
FPL River, yeah.
Been since day one, FPL River.
Tiffany's jumping out at me as somebody that's been here all the time. Colm, I know, is always here too. Rest in Pilk. Oh my god.
Mark recently has been so dedicated.
He has.
Luke C's not in the chat. If Luke C was in the chat right now, I'd be putting a case forward for Luke. But
yeah, I think a lot of people are voting for FPL River, so looks like FPL River is in alongside CH. So that's
and Tiffany. I think we got and
Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany.
So we've got one more space, people. If you want to be considered for Chaser of the Year,
the Indian football coach has been in a lot as well.
Indian football coach
Mark
has been big recently. He's been putting some really good insight into. I like that. Brian says, I like Dean, not sure about Gianni yet though. Whoa.
Where's that comment?
Where's
that comment so I can find it and block him?
It's up a bit. Look at Colm and Michael, and he's just above that. He does put laughing emojis, so don't worry.
No, I'm fine with that.
There you go. Brian Morrissey. Go and find him. Can I vote for myself? FPL River says, you're already in it, mate. FPL River, you're already in the vote. So you're there. We're looking for one more contestant for this.
It's got to be Colm, Mark, Luke C, even though he's not around. Heather.
I think
Aston Villa Bozzy's been around loads. I mean, Nuclear Atoms isn't here tonight.
Nuclear Atoms disappeared off the face of the earth in the last few weeks.
It's a Real Madrid thing, mate.
Yeah, it's a Real Madrid fan, so I think might be disappeared because of their collapse.
Colm is getting a lot of love. Yes. Oh my god, Dal says CH. All right, should we do Colm? The Indian dude says Jedi. Yeah, Indian football coach is on, but we're gonna go Colm.
Yeah. The Indian dude. Yeah, let's go with Colm. So we'll get those taps up now. And then we'll have a vote.
You're definitely not getting on, mate, after that comment.
To see who the chaser of the year. I mean, the anti-chaser of the year is 100% Dal. Dal.
It was when we kept flashing up his questions and we were trying to avoid them.
I mean, there was one episode, that guy, honestly, insane. We don't get that on this channel, do we? We never ever get it. So it really stands out when it happens. Yeah, he's melon of the season. CH is going to be a clear winner, says Adam. We shall see, because we've got the vote coming very soon. Aston Villa Bozzy, thanks for the mention. I appreciate it. No worries, mate. The vote is now up on screen.
I'm not saying who I'm voting for.
No, I'm not going to say who I'm voting for either, but I'm going to give it a few. And I'm going to give it a few seconds till the vote gets going. It's actually quite a tough one because I like all of you for different reasons. You all had something different to the chat.
I feel like Colm's been stung by us, like not being able to get the fourth person up. So whoever was coming in, Colm, they were always going to be the lowest owned because it was like we had our three, and it was like you were the and finally still very
vote for Colm. If you haven't voted yet, vote for Colm. Give him some respect. Put some respect on the guy's name. He's legend.
Oh, CH was flying and FPL Rivers caught CH.
Oh wow!
I think the Rivers a Chelsea fan, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Looks like a Chelsea shirt on his little picture there. This is close, man. This is close between CH and FPL River. This is a tight battle. Make sure you vote, people. We've only got 40 odd votes in at the moment. There's 170 of you watching. So
what are we doing?
I have no idea what's happened to this show,
but it's brilliant.
It's a great way to finish the season. I can't have hoped for any more than this. So I'm just trying to keep up with the chat.
Unfortunately, we don't have a prize for the winner. But we'll remember this for a while.
You're our first ever chaser of the season. We'll never forget whoever wins this vote. We're going to have a cut-off. So how long should we give this?
Should we give it a countdown?
Yeah.
Another a 5-second countdown?
Another 5 seconds, right. Start voting now because G is going to give it a 5-second countdown. If you haven't voted yet, quickly get in there. FPL Rivers just raced into the lead a little bit, to be fair. So if you like any of the other people in that chat, get on it now because you're running out of time. Go!
Okay, we're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can't do maths on my hands. 0. There we go.
It's the end of the poll, and the chaser of the season is FPL River. Well done. Well done. What a season you've had, FPL River. What a contribution it's been to the Chasing Green Arrows community. Brilliant stuff.
It doesn't matter what your FPL rank was at FPL River. You are #1 chaser of the season. Fair play. Well done.
And well done to all the others of you. We love all of you the same.
Yeah. For those, look, there are dozens that we could name off straight away. If this poll could have been for 20, it would have been for 20 or 30 straight away. So guys, thank you for all your support, and for the hundreds of others that are always watching as well. I know a lot of you maybe don't want to contribute in the chat and just enjoy the show on catch up or live, but to all of you, genuinely, we love your support, and we thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and also telling your mates about us and sharing it on social media. That's been awesome too. We've seen plenty of that. So yeah, we'll be back very soon with some more transfer related shows in the next month. And then when the game is live, second week of July, first week of July, no doubt, straight off the bat, we'll be doing FPL content again on this channel. So do stay tuned, set your alerts, enjoy your time off, but we'll see you very, very soon. Dean, I should come to you for a little and finally before I do the He's Been Dean up in Johnny.
Yeah, so we're going to do a few transfer shows while it's off season and while we wait for the game to be relaunched at the start of July. So we're going to let the season play out. We'll give it to, I think we're going to wait until the Champions League final's done. And then the week after that, we're going to commence with some other shows on transfers, and they will be insightful in terms of breaking news, in terms of giving you insight on who's going to be joining your teams and the likelihood of the transfer rumors you are reading about actually happening. I have a couple of guests coming on, hopefully one regular guest and a couple that I've got penciled in to come on occasionally to give us some insight, hopefully grow this show out again a bit too, to get some other people interested. We'll put out some stuff on socials. And we'll all link it back into FPL. Obviously, we'll be talking about whether these people are going to fit the teams that they're being linked with. So, yeah, keep your notifications on and look out for, around, I guess, the 11th of June, something like that. Hopefully, we'll be back with a little bit of a different version of Chasing Green Arrows for a month or whatever, while we wait for the game to be relaunched. And then we'll probably merge the two or something as we get back into it.
Yeah, and the good thing is when you're back kind of second week of June there, Dean, the fixtures will be out within probably days. So you can have a little recap of who's got a good run at the start of the season.
Yeah, I hope so. Rahul says he's unsubscribing to all other FPL content creators. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have to go that far, but just make sure you're subscribed to us and watching. We'll be happy.
Yeah, just make sure that definitely support the others, but just set the alarm for us. Yeah,
absolutely. CH says 3 cheers for Ali. Yeah, I mean, the final mention to Ali. Mate, thanks for always watching us. It's been great to have someone that we've been able to cheer to at the title. That is absolutely a plot twist in our season and in our show. So thanks for coming back all the time, and thanks for helping with people's questions and conundrums too. Absolutely unbelievable that we've been able to be a part of your journey and your success. When we saw Ali J, the guy we'd seen his name flash up all season, when he was I'm world #1, we were let's just check that. And it was game week 28 or 9, and we were that's amazing, but we'll probably never see him at #1 again. And there he is, just dominated for the next 15 weeks after that. Yeah,
amazing.
Absolutely. Brilliant stuff.
Alrighty then, team. We're going to be gone. We'll see you very shortly. But for now, he's been Dean. I've been Janny. And for one last time, as always, we've been chasing green arrows, baby.